Good morning, internets. Here we are. We have ourselves a start to another day. A little bit of a update type of vlog. There's been a lot of things going on lately. Going to try to answer a few questions that have been left on YouTube, on my social medias, and things like that. And yeah, welcome to our vlog. So here we go. Well, first of all, yes, I am moving. I got a call the other day from a place, and I go here in a couple more days to sign a lease. I've been packing up a storm the last week or so, which I guess is a good thing, because when it's going to happen fast. It'll be a bit of a change, leaving the house behind, leaving everything behind. You know, my tools, my projects, my world per se, and readjusting to living where I'm going to be living, but at the same time, you know, it is going to be for the best. No, this problem that I am having, or problems, cannot be solved by just getting a simple job. For one, I cannot work a job. I am not well enough or healthy enough to work a job. That's what started all this problems here recently. I've been diagnosed with an illness that keeps me from working a full-time job, or even a part-time job, or even being dependable for other employers. And I have yet to find a balance between my life and the illness, and being able to find an employer that is willing to work with me, so I can essentially show up when I'm healthy, when I'm well, and leave when I'm sick, which most employers won't do that. Pretty much all of them won't do that. So unfortunately, that kind of means that, well, you know, the house has to go, right? And it has been for sale for like the last 6 months. However, with the economy the way it is, nobody's buying it. Nobody's looking at it. Nobody's even showed a glimmer of interest in it. And unfortunately, I cannot lower the price any more than what it already is, because of past financial obligations that have made the mortgage about $40,000 more than, or more than what it needs to be. Probably closer to 60, in fact. But I guess it is what it is, right? I've had a lot of time to think over the last few months, and even the last year, kind of a thing, on directions things have to go, and well, it kind of is what it is. Believe me, if I was healthy enough to work, I could work, I would be out there working. I do not like staying at home, staying close to home. I do not like losing everything. I do not like having to give up my workshop, give up my editing studio, give up my house, my home for the last 12 years. All because of a silly illness that I never asked for. I could see if I was an alcoholic, or I did drugs, or like intravenous drug user, or whatever thousands of other illnesses you could get out there are. But I didn't do a single thing to ask for this illness. It was kind of, you know, thrown at me, thrust upon me, and well, it is what it is. Been trying to make the best out of a bad situation, trying to keep the anxiety low, trying to keep a few things going and rolling, but it is what it is when it all comes down to it. But gonna go in, do a couple things, see how the day goes from here, and we'll catch you all later. A little bit of an afternoon. update. Well, continuing with some of the questions. Another question is, what am I going to do with all my stuff? Well, obviously, the first thought is to rent a storage unit, jam everything in there, and call her good. However, at $150 a month, it's not going to take long before I start to, pay for most of the stuff that I'll be putting in there. Yes, I know I have saws and welders and plasma cutters and air compressors and tools upon tools and a bunch of other stuff, but at the same time, I think it'd be better to sell it. This last year or two has been a little bit of an eye-opener for me, wanting to do projects and not able to do projects, not being strong enough to do projects, or to continue with them or to finish them in a timely manner, has been a bit of an eye-opener because, well, I don't remember the last time I actually did a project, and the cargo trailer was a bit of an eye-opener for me, and the basement project took far too long to complete because, well, that was when I was struggling to, come to grips with everything. So I've come to the realization I am going to keep some small stuff, you know, my wrenches and screwdrivers, because they always come in handy for something. One drill and a few things like that, and a hand saw and whatever. And the rest of it, I think I'm going to sell. Well, I know I'm going to get rid of it. Hoping to sell it. You know, obviously selling it does generate a little bit of money. Go toward paying bills and getting prepared for the next leg of the adventure. There's some things that you need and other things you don't need. And with my health the way it is, doing projects in the garage is not good. It's not viable, and obviously when the garage is not going to be there, doing projects is not going to be easy, and to rent a shop space is not going to be usable or not going to be good because I won't be there half the time, and to jam all the tools in a small room where I'm going doesn't make sense either. So you're best just to sell them and be done with it, right? It is kind of one of those things in life, right? You work all your life and then something happens and then your life takes another direction. Life is a chapter. Life is made up of chapters, and as one chapter closes, another chapter opens. I need to de-stress my life. My life has been full of stress for far too long, far too long, and those who are close to me know what the stresses of my life were. Those who aren't close to me don't know exactly what was going on. One of the main stresses was this house. It's a beautiful home. It's an older home. I'm grateful to thank you for the blessing, the opportunity to have had a home these last 12 years, but having an older home is constant maintenance. You know, there is things that go wrong that you have to fix. Sometimes expensive things that you have to find money somewhere to fix, and yard maintenance, which I haven't been able to do, and shoveling snow in the winter was a killer, majorly. I learned a lot this winter, or at least I realized a lot this winter, and I'm hoping not to repeat it this winter. Obviously, I'm making steps, right? And there's other things that go on with this house that I need to take care of. Plus, you know, one person living in a house like this where a family can be in it, it doesn't really make sense, does it? So it kind of is what it is. As my dream ends, another families will begin. and hopefully they have better luck than I did in this here house. Well, I had some plans for the day that I wanted to do, however, a little bit feeling rough from the packing and moving other things and stuff, so I just ended up crashing for the day. I still need to get into the sheds and into the garage before the big day and to deal with the stuff in there, so I'm hoping to be able to do that. As well as I got a couple more things coming up later in this week that I have to prepare for and kind of, well, get her done, and it'll be what it is. But pretty much, guys, you know how she rolls, right? One day at a time, one step at a time, it'll be what it is. Try to learn what you can change, accept the things you can't, and don't let the things that you can't change stress you to the point where you start losing sleep and having more health issues than you already have. So, I'm gonna go in and we'll catch you all later. Well, hello internets, here we are. We come to the end of another day. Well, after the last update, I was feeling pretty wrecked. I ended up crashing for, I think it was about 6 or 7 hours. I just woke up a few minutes ago and, well, you know, it's kind of the way she goes, right? Stress, fatigue, pain, all that works against a person to the point where they end up with like insomnia, and then they can't sleep for 3 or 4 days, and or sleep decently anyways, and then when finally that lifts a little bit, then you end up crashing, and well, that's kind of where I am. With all the stuff going on with the packing and the moving and the getting rid of stuff and that, there's been more stress than what there was a month ago, but it is a little better stress. Stress that you understand that has to happen, and will end up being something that you need to be. So that'll be definitely a plus there. So everything's going to work out the way it's supposed to work out. It'll be what it is. But pretty much, guys, going to end her all here. Today was a day. Tomorrow's another one. Remember, we do have a fan mail box for all your fan mail needs. The address is down below. And as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's Vlogs. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.